What's up, everybody? Funnel Doc here. In today's video, we're going to be going over voice AI. This is a new three-part series where I'm going to be breaking down everything you need to know about voice AI, how to build it, how to design it, what's the ins and outs, what are the most common use cases, everything you need to know by the time you get done with this three-part series. You're going to be an AI expert when it comes to HighLevel's voice AI. So in this first series, we're going to be breaking down all the ins and outs, basically showing you how everything works. In the next series, we're going to be setting up all the different actions and showing you how to prompt. And in the final series, we're going to be tying it all together with workflows and automations and let you just I'm going to pull back the curtain and let you see some of the different automations that I use on a standard basis, no matter what the project is, and how you can tailor it so it fits your niche, no matter what it is. So with that being said, let's jump inside today's video. All right. So we're going to be jumping into voice AI today. So to access that, you're going to go to AI agents here in your HighLevel account. You're going to go to right here at the top where it says voice AI, and you're going to click on that bad boy. Now you'll see here it's going to open up your dashboard. Now you are able to toggle between a few different things. Since we're in here, we're just going to go over all the ins and outs of everything. First thing here, you're going to see your total amount of calls, which are tracked along here, but you can also click on the different tags here. A lot of people don't realize that. You can actually click on these and they will give you different type of tracking. So you see here, if we went for like this year, you can now see here all the different types of triggers that fire, and you can see which ones are firing more readily and things like that. Like update contact info is obviously the highest, with custom actions being the second highest in this example with a 89% sentiment score. So you can also go in and see what's negative, positive, etc. But you'll come down here. Next thing, this is really important. I highly recommend you pay attention to this. Now you can come in, you can filter by contact name, you can filter by action type. So if you wanted to see a specific type, like maybe I only wanted to see only the ones for appointment booking, you'll see, well, there's not any for this. So you can hit all those. And then the other thing that a lot of people don't know about is you can come here and also filter by live versus test. So a lot of times when you're using the test widget and you're doing things like that, and you might not be able to find them, the reason why is they're listed underneath the test call widget, as you can see a bunch here. Now, whether it's live or a widget, the things that you're going to want to pay attention to, first of all, let's go to this guy. He's got them all. The up down arrows or the up down thumb, super important. This is going to help tailor the AI and help it to learn what you want and what you don't like. So if I don't like something and hit the down arrow, it's going to allow you to put in new text and tell it how you want it to respond or what the problem was. And then the up arrow, if it's doing really good and you like the way it's going, give it the updo so that way it knows that, hey, this is going well. The next thing is your call recording. Now you'll hit here and you say no recording available, but this is going to actually be in your conversation tab. When you go into that person, you'll see in the conversation history, the recordings will be there if you have them turned on. The other things that's really important is the view transcript, where you can see right here, you can see what the AI said as well as what the caller said. And then the total summary of things happened. So let's pull up one that was a little bit longer. So we've got some more history in here. Let's go with this guy. So this one, you can see they got the phone number in this one in a hurry. This is one of the things that they have, the different things we're tracking. Call of the outcome, was not interested for that one. Let's go into a test real quick here. We'll see. Here's a little bit. Well, that doesn't have too many in it either for that specific bot. But you can see right there, you can also go for all your different agents. You can set it for a different time, as well as you can go in and actually build the agents themselves. So you can see I got about 16 on this account. Interesting. So enable outbound calls, you're going to have to be doing KYC information to be able to get that. So that's specific to me for beta, but they just added that today. Very interesting. So when you're going in, you can see here's your agent list, of course, and you can go in your individual agents. You'll also be able to see right here any phone numbers assigned, if they're inbound or outbound, as well as on the three dots. You'll be able to edit, duplicate, delete. You'll be able to copy the URL for the marketplace. So if you wanted just the URL and you need to upload it to a different app or widget, you'll see that's in there. And then the other would be to sell in the marketplace, which is a whole nother video in itself. And when you create agents, you have two different options here. You can either create one from scratch, which most of the time I'll recommend, but right now I've got a ton of agents in the actual marketplace. So if you go right here and hit browse marketplace, and then you type funnel doc in the actual search, and then we go for pricing. Nope, there's all of them right there. Perfect. That's all of them right there. Perfect. So we've got AI, voice AI agent for real estate. We've got dental services, fitness and gyms, AI that sells coaching, AI that sells restaurants, AI that sells roofing, AI that sells medical service, AI that sells autos, and then the new one I just recently put in, which is AI that I'm here for. I'm here for you AI, which I want you to think of it is it's not meant to be therapy, it's not to be anything like that, but it's AI support. So if you ever wanted somebody to talk to, when I was building it, I spent probably 30 minutes just chatting with it because I've made it so it's really empathetic. But if you're in a crisis situation, it knows how to handle that and alert you. It doesn't try and take the place of a therapist or anything like that. It's just a cool companion that sometimes if you want somebody to talk to that's not judgmental, that's going to cheer you on, this bot's for you. So check them all out. These are all free right now. There's a contest, as you may or may not know, going on till October 3rd. So if you could download these and use them as much as possible, it'd really help me out and I'd really appreciate it. Again, to access those, you're just going to pick whichever one you want, like so. And then you'll see here. You'll see here have the ability to install it. It will tell you all the different things it's doing. Most of these have quite a few different actions. Most of them are going to at least be booking with different data they're going to have depending on what type of bot it is, of course. And then you just hit install and it will install it right into your account and you can start using it right there. Those bots are great template starter bots that you can tweak just a little bit to make it specific for whatever your brand need, want, or desire is. With that being said, let's jump inside creating your first AI agent. So again, we're going to be going over the overview here. In the next video, I'm going to be breaking down in depth how you should set up each action and how you should prompt it. And in the third video, we're going to be tying it all together by adding the back end of it so that we got automations and different workflows set up to tie this bot in to make it whatever type of bot you would like it to be. So you're going to hit continue right there. You're going to come right here. The first thing is you're going to name your agent. We'll just call it Jeff. Then you've got your business name, of course. You've got a multitude of different languages. If you want to be able to switch between English and Spanish, you can click right here for multilingual. And then you've got a plethora of different voices. You can come in, you can pick any different language, or if you want it to be multilingual, you can also have a multitude of different accents, male or female. And then right here, I would always turn this on high quality only. This is going to give you the best voices that they have to choose from, which is about 75. With this, you're going to see about 250 or 212, but I would only go with the high quality. I like Jessica. There's a couple different ones that are good, but you can come in, you can just check
Here's
them
my
out.
super conversational Scottish voice, just something that sounds natural, easy to listen to,
So
and
you can
nothing
see,
too over the
I
top.
would recommend also checking these out once you picked one to test it because a lot of times you'll find they may sound a certain way on your desktop that they might not sound the same when you're necessarily building the bot. So we're going to go ahead and stick with Jessica in there. Now, the next thing you've got is your introduction or your initial message. So a lot of times when people prompt, you'll see to put the initial message in there. Not really needed because you're going to put it right here. One of the things that I recommend when you're doing this is to make sure you have some type of question or something that's going to cause the caller to respond. Because if not, it can create a lot of dead air because the person calling might not know what to say or how to react. So a lot of times I'll have the AI introduce itself and then do a follow-up question depending on what it is. So if it's legal services, it might be like, hey, did you have an injury case? Or depending on what type of legal service it is, hey, is this about any injury case? Or are you calling about a case that's already on file or processing or whatever it is, however you'd want to introduce it. For roofers, it might be like, hey, are you looking to repair your roof or is this a roofing emergency? Or HVAC, it's like, hey, is your air conditioner broken or how can we help you today? Something like that. But I always like to tie it back into the niche so it's more specific to what their problem is because most likely they're calling you for one reason or another that's specific to what problems you solve. Remember, you can use custom values in here to make it tailored to a specific person, brand, need, or want, but you do only have 190 characters to do that in. So keep that in mind. That's tracked down at the bottom. Once you're happy of everything, before you ever save it, you're going to always want to now go to advanced settings. This has gotten, I'm almost not sure why they haven't added this to another tab because it's gotten so many different things on it. First thing we're going to go with is really important, your max call minutes. Now you can only max this up to 15. That's as far as it will go, and then it locks out. The next thing is, and I'd always leave this on unless you have a specific case study and where you wouldn't, would be the idle time. Now I like to turn this up to 7 and about 2 times. So what this is how many times it's going to repeat asking a certain question for delay. So if you're thinking about something, this was a problem that we were having before, is a lot of people, the AI to ask a question, you might be thinking, and it could be 2 or 3 seconds go by, and all of a sudden the AI is like, hey, are you there? Did you go away? What's going on? And that gets really irritating. So right now I've got it to do it for, it'll wait 7 seconds and then it will go, hey, are you there? And then it'll do it again, wait 7 more seconds, ask one more time, and then it'll sort of move on at that point. You can look. So that's what the 2 times is. The next is the behavior. I like my response speed. Now this is how quickly the AI replies back to you, to normal to moderate. I find when we set it on fast that it feels too too quick. It doesn't feel natural. So I go to normal to moderate, and then interruption sensitivity. I actually like to turn this up a little bit because I like it to feel more natural. If we were talking and all of a sudden you said something, I'm not going to keep talking. I'm going to shut up and hear what you had to say, especially if we're on like a sales call or something like that. If you had a question, and I want the AI to respond the same. So I usually turn this up to at least 9, if not even higher, because I don't want to be too sensitive to where it's like any noise it's stopping, but I do want it to where if someone replies, the AI stops answering their question, because I'm sure you've had that before where you start to answer their question or say something and the AI just keeps talking over you and it's really weird. So the next thing is creativity versus non-creativity. And this is with the actual large language model and your prompt and everything you've given it. How much flexibility? If you leave it all the way down here at 0, it's super stable. If you go all the way up to 1 right here, it's very creative. I like to put it a little bit right about there, about 2, 3, maybe 4. Give it a little creativity, give it a little bit of wiggle room, but not too much, not too much. I mean, but it's totally up to you. If you want to get your AI to sort of, it won't go off script, but it doesn't adhere, especially if you're asking questions and stuff like that. If you find it skipping around, you might want to turn this down, as well as you can try and prompt it into it to make sure that it, of course, answers all the questions before it goes on. Next thing is speed. I have turned it up before. I don't see any need to ever turn this up. You might even want to turn it down if the voice you like is talking too fast, but I always leave this right about 1. Now, temperature. Now, I do like to play with this about a 7.5 usually. I like some inflection in the voice so that it sounds more human. It's got that up and down. Whereas if you turn it down a little, it's going to be very calm, sort of monotone, just hello. Thank you very much for calling. It's great to see you. You're an amazing person. And then volume. I haven't found a reason to really turn this up, but maybe you have an area that people are calling in from a lot and they have a lot of background noise. So you might want your voice volume to be higher. Then you turn this up. Next thing is background stages, which are great. I've tried them all. Coffee shop sounds like people in a coffee shop. Convention hall, you'll hear people shuffling around. Call centers has phones and people talking. Static noise, I actually hadn't tried that one yet. I'm not sure what that sounds like, but the other two I have. The summer outdoor and mountain outdoor, you heard birds chirping and stuff like that, and it's insect stuff. It's pretty cool. So I usually, depending on the situation, will go call center or leave it depending. I've actually used the birds before, and it sounds really pleasant, but it might be sort of weird if somebody calls you and they've got birds chirping in the background. So once you're happy with everything, that is the final thing that you're going to be looking at on this page. Once you've set everything up and you're good to go, you're going to always hit next. That's going to lock everything in and start the savings process. Now, there are 2 different modes. If you're really newbie and you just want to get something up and running, you can go with this mode, which is their basic mode. Now, you do have a knowledge table or knowledge base, which you can see all the different ones I've got listed here. A knowledge base is where you want to keep information that's good for the AI to know, but not need to know. Now, this could be company information, product information. It could be a plethora of different things. But just remember that the longer this list is, that anytime the AI does access it, it's going to take longer. So it could have those weird silence periods. Definitely test that out. But this is going to be like accessory information that you don't always need to have in the prompt or have the AI say every time. You're going to want to put it in the knowledge base and you'll set that up. And in tomorrow's video, we're going to be diving into that when we talk about everything that's the sort of guts of the AI, the actions, the knowledge base, and the prompt. But for this bad boy, you can come in now. These are the different things that you want to collect: name, email, address, and you'll see you can just click them on or off. Contacts issue. This is a very, 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 very basic bot that's sort of like FAQ, customer support. That's really what it's set for. When you click these, it will gather that information. Then if you want any type of workflows to fire, maybe you've got like a nurture series. I'm sure I've got one in here. There's a general workflow, and you can add as many of these as you want, just to let you know. I think I've tested up to 20 and it's gone to, but keep in mind that at the end of the call, all these workflows are going to fire. So if there's any messaging, if there's any type of notifications or anything, keep this in mind. Always the user experience when it comes to AI. How does it feel when they're engaging with it as well as after? And the last thing, a lot of people, especially myself, is get off a call and then I get bombarded by 37 different emails or messages or whatever. So just keep that in mind. Might not be your situation, but you always want to think about the user experience. And like I said, you can just come through and you can see as you click on, they're going to check mark and you can just check mark them off if you want them, or you can come here and delete them by clicking the little arrow. Next thing's important. This is going to send a full summary of the call, like what you talked about, the times. I believe it even has a little bit of the transcription in there. And then you can choose, you can either turn this off so no one will get one, or you can choose multiple different things here. You can choose all admins and all users. You can give a specific email. You could pick a specific user. Like if I wanted to send it to me, you can actually pick multiple users. And then if there's anyone that's been assigned to the contact, you click that and it would send it you to that person. And think about users are like team members is an easy way to think of users. When you're happy with everything here, you would then go hit next if you wanted to save it like that. We're not going to save here. We're going to go more advanced and we're going to switch to advanced mode. So you're going to come right here. You're going to hit advanced mode. Same thing with your knowledge base. Again, we're going to get into that tomorrow. Right here is going to be your prompt tomorrow. And then here's your actions tomorrow. So this is section right here, but tomorrow's video is going to come out. It's going to break this down. We're going to take a lot of time and get into it deep. We've still got more to come with this one, so don't go away. I've got other things I want to tell you as well. So here is the one, all the different stuff we'll be going over, like I said, tomorrow. And then the other thing that's new, which is really cool, we'll get into that tomorrow. I don't want to even touch on anything. We'll just go through. We're going to keep it there. We'll go to the next page. Now, this is your price. It's gone up. It used to be 12 cents. Wow. No, it's always been 13, but they added a 7 to it, I think it was. So your cost is 13 cents a minute for using of the voice AI. Keep in mind that if you go to the AI employee plan, you can get unlimited for, I believe it's $97, depending on what account or where you're getting this at. But you can just click right here and you can find out all about that. I recommend not turning it on until your total amount of use of all the AI is $100. It costs $100. Go by pay as you go. Right now, it's set as use it and then you pay, or pay as you go. So go that way until you necessarily hit that limit of $100. If you're hitting more than 100 a month, look into the AI employee. It's going to save you in the long run. Here's where you're going to pick from your number of pools. You'll see here, as you can see in this one, it says that these are numbers I have on this account, but they're attached to a different agent. You can buy a different number here, which will take you to the number place to be able to buy the different numbers. Let's go back to that. Boom. I don't know why I didn't save, but there we go. We'll hit. So we'll go back to this guy. You have your phone number now. This is to enable the AI's backup after somebody has not picked it up. So that's like after car four and he doesn't respond, after it's hit a number of rings, then it's going to go to AI. Most of the time, since I don't have staff that I want answering the phone or anything like that, I always turn this off so that way it answers right away. The next thing is going to be your working hours. So if you wanted the AI to only answer for certain times, maybe from 5 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe we go 5 p.m. to, the next day would be, of course, it only goes to 11:55. But you go to 11. Oh, no, they changed it. Big update, big update. Wow. They used to, for the longest time, this only used to go to 11:55. So there was always like a weird layover time of like a minute where it'd be like, oh, you couldn't have it. It would be like 5 minutes. So from 11:55 to noon or midnight, they would be off for 5 minutes because it went by 5 minute increments rather than minutes. So you could set it up just like this. So you'd have it go right there, turn back on. You would have it off for technically a minute right here. And then say that you wanted to turn it on at like 9 a.m. Boom. So there you go. Monday it turns off at 5, goes all night, turns back off at 9 a.m. to where your staff. And then you could just come in here and copy this. So if you wanted to all the different days, you just go boom, and it makes it for all the different days. Of course, you would want to segment this in double layer potentially, where you can add another layer like this. And so if you wanted like a split schedule or anything, and then to delete them, you just hit your delete key like so. Pretty easy to use. If you're using it, I don't. I have my AI on 24/7. But if you, for instance, have staff that you want to be able to answer the phone and not have the AI conflict in answering it for them, then definitely you're going to want to turn that on. And the next thing we're going to be looking at before we get to the last page is your voice AI. Now, some of you might be on older accounts and don't have the upgrade. There will be a button here that says to upgrade your voice AI. If you have that, go ahead and hit it, and that will get you a lot of the new stuff for voices that you might not be seeing. You do have a new way to test this, which is great because before you used to always have to buy a number no matter what. And a lot of times you might not want to add a number to it. You're maybe testing it for a client or something like this. You can now get up to 10 minutes a day, and you can see the call history here for that. So if I wanted for this agent, I can come in and I can actually do a web call now. So if I click it, you'll actually
Hey, you
see
have reached Funnel Doc AI. How can I help you today?
and see you can go through the whole thing and you can end the call and then it's going to give you a transcription. It's going to do record. I don't think it does recording, but it'll do a little summary as far as that goes, and you can rate it. And then you can see right here, you can start a new one, and then your call history will be listed underneath there. As well as when you go to the dashboard now, if you change it to test, you'll see your test call will be here as well as everything else about it like we did before. So that is your voice AI. That's what we're going through today. Make sure you go through, download those. If you can't find them, if you don't want another way to find my free AI voice AI templates, you can go to the AI app market or the app marketplace right here. You can always go to AI agents, go to voice, go to price, go to free. And then if you type in funnel doc, you'll be able to find me. Hey, that's like a rhyme, like Dr. Seuss or something here. So there you go. So there's all these. I am going to be having a couple more upload for the voice, and then all my conversation AI should be done today or tomorrow. So there'll be conversation AI versions of all these as well. Please download them, use them. They're great templates. I put a pretty decent amount of time in here setting them up for you guys and gals so they'd be ready to go. With that being said, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. We're going to be breaking down all the insides, the voice, the prompt, the knowledge base, and all the different actions, showing you how to set them up, when you want to set them up, and why you should how you should use them all. So with that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video. I'm out of here. Peace. Funnel Dog out.